Okay, in this activity, the formation of the solar system, what we're going to be doing is investigating how a nebula can turn itself into what we now know as our solar system. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do, obviously you're watching the video right now, I'm going to have you start by reading the background information which is found on page 51. As you scroll down, or as I scroll here, and you flip your page, you will see the background information located right here about the solar nebula theory. Once you have read the background information, then I'll ask for you to gather the lab materials from myself or Mr. Fusak, and then to complete the procedures on page 52. And then after you've done that, at the very bottom of 52, there are a few questions that you'll see here. There are 6 to be exact that I would like you to answer. So let's talk about the materials first. All right. This could be done as a class demonstration or it could be done as a individual type of lab. At the beginning, we're going to give everybody the opportunity to do it on their own. We'll see how the pacing goes since this is towards the very end of the unit that you guys are going to be studying. We'll allow those that kind of work a little bit quicker to get to it and do it themselves, and if we need to, we'll do it as a full class demonstration when it comes down to it. So located over here, you will see the materials that are listed. Here's if you're doing it without being in a group, doing it by yourself or maybe in a smaller group. You're going to need a stirring rod. Now, granted, we'll have some better stirring rods. The one that I'm going to use as an example will be you know, my daughter and my son's golfing tool. So one bucket you'll need for this. So the bucket that I had, just grabbed it out of my garage. You've seen the buckets that we use for ice for labs. You'll be using those. And then a basin and collecting used water. We'll talk about where you will do or where you'll empty out your water when you're done with it for this lab, as well as the vermiculite. We just can't dump it straight down the actual sink. We have to take care of it because of the vermiculite, more particular. And then you'll see 15 mils of vermiculite, and then indirect vented goggles and aprons, which will be something that we will have out for you as well, just because of the chemicals that are mixed in with the vermiculite. Okay, so it's better of a safety thing rather than just a, you know, we want you to look kind of funny wearing all this setup and gear, but it is a safety issue. Okay, so what will happen is you're going to start with procedure step number 1, which is to fill the bucket about 3/4 of the way up with water. And then what you'll do is you'll use a graduated cylinder to measure out about 15 mils of vermiculite. And then what you'll do is you'll pour that vermiculite right into the top and let it go. You'll take your stir rod, and what you're going to do for step number 3 is you're going to stir real quickly. Okay, you want to get it to the point where you actually see one of those funnels, like when you watch water draining out of a tub or when you flush your toilet. We want to make sure that there's a very good rapid spinning motion of the water inside of here without spilling it, without knocking it over, please. All right, and then what you'll do is as soon as you've got the funnel going in the middle, where you can see that funnel right in the smack middle there, you're going to then stop stirring, and you're just going to sit back and observe what's actually taking place. And while you're observing, you're going to use the space provided on BLM 6.1, which is right here. In this space, you're going to be drawing what you physically see taking place as the water and the vermiculite spin around and around. Okay, so what you're doing is you're just sketching the pattern of vermiculite. And then the last piece is you're going to label the parts as to where you might find the inner planets and the outer planets within our actual solar system. And I think you'll be quite amazed as to how the vermiculite, as it's moving around, as the formation that it makes for our solar system is kind of a cool little thing. Okay? Once you're done with the actual lab, find myself or find Mr. Fusak to talk about how we can dispose of the materials that you've been using. And then you have the questions which are located right here for you to answer. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that basically takes you through the lab. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask us. But it should be kind of neat to kind of watch how materials, when gravity, quote unquote, the spinning that we're going to induce, gravity takes over and starts to grab onto things that are out in space to form such things like our solar system. Kind of a cool thing. All right, let us know.